Hi, so for the first time in 7 years, we saw actual gameplay of Metroid Prime 4. That has me in a great mood. Metroid Prime, a trilogy I like a lot. You can see from the several Metroid videos intermixed with the mental poison that is League of Legends, and I apologize for that. I will be killed for it shortly. Now, the reason why I set these 5 items aside is to make a specific point that Morph Ball bombs, the Morph Ball as a concept, the various suit missiles in E-tanks are one of those things that realistically you're using them anyways. They're fundamental to like Metroid games as a whole, and they're not really upgrades. They're kind of mandatory for this game to be a thing. I classify them on the same level as having electricity, a monitor to play the game, a console, and or turning on the console. So we're adding a tier above them all. If you disagree with me, honestly, I welcome you with open arms and nothing but utter positivity. I will have a smile on my face as you call me an idiot. Alright, starting off strong with the Annihilator Beam, my favorite thing to shoot that's a normal beam but not a beam combination, which sounds weird but it will make more sense later. Boost Ball, my favorite movement tool because it has the skill cap of, yeah, I charged up a boost, but I'm gonna line it between the geometry so I don't bump into something to lose speed. It makes traversal a little bit more interesting considering the amount of backtracking you have to use throughout the games. Yes, the Boost Ball half pipe does get a little bit tiring between everything else because it's, you know, you're forced to do the thing instead of thinking of a smarter way to do the thing. But it's a Boost Ball. It sounds great. It feels great. It's wonderful. All right. It's fundamental to the experience in a way where, yeah, it's the same as the Morph Ball as a concept and should be kind of in the bro that like you played a Metroid game or a Prime game. The Boost Ball is kind of fundamental to that, but you know, you get it deep enough into most of the games that you don't, you know, you just straight up have it for all of Prime 3. You don't even really have it as an upgrade. But Prime 2, you gotta earn that back with probably the boss of all time. Alright, Charge Beam, just fun. Dark Beam, it's the same as Ice Beam but has a cool aesthetic because we were edgy boys back then. I'm going off of previous nostalgia and current feelings. It's nice. Alright, Dark Burst, shooting a black hole at people, genuinely fun. Would I classify it above the Annihilator? Nah, the not, you know, one big black hole versus a bunch of tiny ones. We like them small. We are a twink enjoyer in this house. I am not explaining that further. Alright, Dark Suit, beautiful, actual work of art. I'm gonna put it top of A because I don't want to have two suits in the same thing, because I like Light Suit better. I'm just gonna classify that as probably the best thing to look at, the best thing to shoot, the second best thing to shoot, and the best utility tool, so I'll put it above because it's best of it's not the best utility. I'm going out of order, I apologize, but screw attack. Best thing in terms of utility for me to use and I enjoy, best thing to shoot, and best thing to look at. I feel that's all three are best of class, so we're gonna put the second best thing to shoot, the second best form of utility. And going to Visor, Dark Visor, Doodoo Poo Poo, I do not like the staticky effect and I kinda just don't fuck with it. That's just how I live my life. I am not a Dark Visor enjoyer. Alright, Ankle Visor on the other hand, very pretty. I like it. Unique, interesting, great. FlameThrower, the upgrade to the Plasma Beam, not to be confused with the Plasma Beam from the other one. FlameThrower, it's a flamethrower, pretty generic, kind of cool. I'm gonna put C in general of things that are kind of cool, but Grapple Beam, fundamental as a concept to all of these games, but still technically an upgrade, and you don't really get it immediately most of the time, except for when you do. But fun utility option, but you know, borderline bro question mark and S. Is this a tier above all else? It's still fundamental to the experience, and things would be severely diminished to the point of not being recognizable as a Metroid title without any of these things. However, I'm pretty sure you can play a Prime game without the Grapple Beam, and it would be worse for it, but not fundamentally changed in the same way of not having a variable Morph Ball bomb, or, you know, Easter eggs. We're just gonna I wouldn't put in like S tier. Screw attack. If I can screw attack over a distance, boost ball over a distance, or grapple beam it up. Okay, Echo Visor. Just think. Hyper grapple? Or no, Grapple Lasso. Cause I remember this. Fundamentally a cool concept because motion controls, despite their gimmicks, just ripping off a shield and then like spam clicking the A button as you're physically pointing with your arm, as though your arm is the arm cannon. And Prime 3 was genuinely so fun that it has a lasting memory to the point where I can almost feel the satisfaction just doing the miming of the action. Is that kind of nerdy? Brother, you are clicking on a tier list video of a game that came out with the most recent one well over 10 years ago. Alright, it's more than that. It's a Scenic 11, I think. Right? 4 plus the 7, that'd be an 11. We're in 2024. Wow, quick math. I feel so smart. Alright, so Grapple Voltage came way too late into the game, and Prime 3 gives out E-Tanks like candy. And personally, using it on the 3 enemy types out of the 100 in the game to sap 20 HP from a Steam bot is completely pointless, but dumping a bunch of energy in it to make it pop, kinda cool. I'm gonna put it in the same as Echo Visor. Looks cool, not insanely fun, and limited utility makes this worse. If you got Grapple Lasso and Grapple Voltage really early into the game in Prime 3 and there was more enemies to use it on, and instead of Prime 3 giving you a bunch of E-Tanks constantly surplusing your health for hyper mode, if you have to actively use the Grapple Voltage to constantly push and pull of whether or not to heal or give up HP because it's a really strong offensive or defensive tool, and you would use it to charge up a hyper mode, yeah, it would be better, but that's not the reality we live in. So a Scenic B, it do be. Alright, the gravity boost does the same thing as the gravity suit, except the physical model added to the dark suit in Torvus Bog when you get it. It looks cool, and the gravity suit is a recolor now, a classic recolor in that, and the purple do be looking nice, but it's just a recolor. And they were getting it fitting in Prime 1, but looking at the trilogy as a whole, because we're rating every single item, the gravity suit would not be on my highest list of secrets. The same as the hazard shield, because it do be hideous. It ugly, disgusting. I don't like it. It's a beautiful hexagon, and hexagonal shapes great. It is a departure in style of what dark suit haters say about it to the Phazon hazard shield, the PED suit hazard shield, I say to that, disgusting. Space jump boots, it is a double jump fundamental to gaming as a whole. It is in a weird borderline. I'm gonna put it in bro tier because I can't really think of a reason past that. The Phazon upgrades all doobie booty because they are just gimmicky, and honestly, Phazon and everything related to hyper mode is something that I fundamentally just dislike. Now, Phazon Beam is actually here, and I'm going to go further down. This one was Phazon Beam. Yeah, if you right click the images as you open this tier list, and I'll link it in the description, you'll be able to see the names of the items if you can't recognize them off of a single PNG like a normal human being. Now, the Phazon Beam, if it's the Prime 3 one, if it's the Prime 2 one, and you're like, there's a Phazon Beam and Prime 2, it's the thing where you collect little pellets coming from Dark Samus at the end of the game, and I wouldn't really classify that as a beam. That is just a slightly blue charged beam. Alright, however, the all black look of the Prime 1 Phazon Beam, beautiful, sound amazing, so we're gonna put it and see it is being dragged by its other 2 game counterparts. The Ice Beam, same as Dark Beam. I like the Dark Beam aesthetic slightly more, but they're 2 fundamentally the same. I love them to death. Ice missiles, they're basically barely different than missiles. I'm going to better than hyper missiles because you get to freeze things, but they're still just, it's not that much. It's not that much, brother. It's not that interesting. They're we don't have an Ice Beam because we're beam stacking and we have 2 unique beams to do other things. We need Ice as a mechanic because we've had Ice as a mechanic in the Dark Beam and the Ice Beam in the other 2 games. Just slap it on the missiles, brother. Who cares? Alright, the Ice Spreader. Same as FlameThrower. Nothing crazy. It's an okay beam combination. It is no... I have to skip. It is no super missiles. That is a beautiful thing. Most satisfying sound in the entire trilogy. Up there is one of the most satisfying sounds in the trilogy. Love it to death. I love it. Do be loving me some super missile. That's it, the light beam. Cooler than the flamethrower. Cooler than the ice beam. I do be an ice loving boy, so I'm gonna put that up here above the light beam, even though I love the light beam. Nova beam. Really fun to spam. It is a better wave beam in my opinion. It just sounds cooler and has a cooler aesthetic to it than just the purple, because green is cool. So by extension, where is it? The wave beam. We're gonna put them relatively similar, but I'm gonna put them, you know, as far as cool things go, I'm gonna put them both above the Echo Visor. I'm gonna put the Echo Visor between them because, you know, despite this being wave beam and also wave beam, but one be greener, spamming this sounds better than spamming this, because I do love that high pitched noise. Great. The Phazon Suit is a recolor in the same way the Gravity Suit is a recolor, but that black and red do be looking good though, so we're gonna put it above the Gravity boost. Alright, so the Plasma Beam, not to be confused with the Plasma Beam, because this Plasma Beam sounds nice. This Plasma Beam is a shrill noise that will burn into my soul. The welding, however, is a cool mechanic that I like a lot. Whether put it above the other Plasma Beam, not the Plasma Beam, no, but I would put them in the same tier for slightly different reasons. Now, the power bombs, kind of like Space Jump, fundamental to everything else, but they are the super missiles of Morph Ball bombs and therefore should be treated as the same. Seeker missiles, bonafide door opener, and they are not as fun as they could be, but more interesting than ice missiles, so we're gonna put them up there. Alright, now ship grapple. Building a bomb in Alicia, cool as an aesthetic, does not need to be an upgrade to do that. That could literally have been a cutscene and it would make no difference of any kind. Ship missiles, I wish they had more uses, wasted potential, but I'm gonna put them slightly up because there is that one above ground boss in Prime 3 where you can use it anyways. The Sonic Boom, not as cool as the Annihilator Beam itself, not as cool as the Dark Burst, not as cool as super missiles, not as cool as power bombs, not even as cool as the basic charge beam. Dark Beam overall, I still like Dark Beam and Dark Beam Charge Shot more than I like Sonic Boom. I like Ice Beam and Ice Beam Charge Shot because they're the same thing as Dark Beam because they freeze things than Sonic Boom. I like the Light Beam Charged Shotgun more than I like Sonic Boom. Do I like Sonic Boom more than Nova Beam? Yes. Would I put it in the same classification of any of these other beams? No. Top B. Cool. Spider Bowl. It's a really satisfying sound that I like a lot. It's probably the best of utility things that you use. I'm gonna say best in class of minor utility that isn't absolutely amazing like the boost ball and yeah, screw attack. Alright, Sunburst. You're firing the sun. Brother, you are firing the sun. Thermal Visor. Doodoo poo poo. I don't like how it looks. Wave Buster. All the Prime 3 combinations, just cool. Overall, like them. Super Missile is better than all of them. And the X-Ray Visor. I'm not going to do the same confused with because, yeah, I know it's multiple games have an X-Ray Visor. Cool that you can see Samus's hand inside of it. Cool aesthetic. Where did I put Echo Visor? Same tier as both of them. Alright. I did that in 14 minutes and 20 seconds flat. That was beautiful. Thank you for watching all the way through. Love you to death. Hopefully Prime 4 has a Dark Suit level controversial but departing from the formula suit upgrade. I would love to see the screw attack again. I am not getting the Grapple Lasso again. I don't think they're doing that shit with Joy-Cons. They will explode. Will we get something as beautiful as the light suit? No, because it is in a tier of its own, and I don't think anything else is ever going to rival that. I would be genuinely shocked if Prime 4 had anything even remotely close to as beautiful as the light suit. I sincerely doubt it. Alright. More uses for the ship would be cool. They did keep the Prime 3 gunship. That would be great to add more to that. As far as ending thoughts, honestly, just thanks. Every time a Metroid video gets more than like 3 views and a couple people comment, it genuinely fills my heart with joy. Every single League of Legends videos that has ever gotten a comment has made me lose faith in humanity and wish for death. in the cold, dark embrace of hell itself.